So we would start off with the fifth installment of What If Ash Was Like Paul. So after becoming Orange League champion, he would decide to go back to Professor Ivy to go and see if there's any progress on the GS ball, where Professor Ivy would actually need help because she needed to feed one of her Nidoran since it was getting quite hungry and impatient, and the food that it liked had kind of ran out. So Ash would go and get the food and would feed the Nidoran. Nidoran would eat the food, and then, because Ash had gotten it such nice food, it would take a liking to Ash. And when Ash was leaving, it would want to be his Pokemon. So, yeah, Ash would get Nidoran and would replace Beedrill with Nidoran. So Ivy would then give him the GS ball, saying that she did all she can with the GS ball, and now it's time for someone else to solve its mystery. After that, Ash would go back to Professor Oak and would tell him about the GS ball. He would then say that there's a Pokemon expert called I forgot the guy's name, but yeah, you know who I'm talking about, who makes all of these different Pokeballs, and that he should go to Johto and basically see what he can do. So then Oak would show Ash a map of Johto, and then would tell him the certain flight that he should go on to get to Johto, and yeah, Ash would make it to Johto. He would meet Professor Elm and would talk a bit about the GS ball, and Professor Elm would admit that he wouldn't be able to do it. And after the brief conversation, he would make his way onto Route 29, where he would encounter Casey. Ash, deciding to test her skills, would decide to battle her, as he would use Nidoran against Pidgey. Pidgey would try its best, but Nidoran would be able to easily defeat it. After that, Casey sent out her Rattata. Rattata tried doing its best, but when it landed a Hyper Fan, it only got poison in return, and Nidoran would quickly finish it off with a double kick. After that, Casey would send in a Chikorita. Chikorita would go up against Nidoran, trying to do its best. It would do infinitely better than the other two, being able to get off a tackle and a body slam, being able to hold its own. But in the end, Nidoran would poison it with a poison jab, peck, poison sting, and would just overwhelm it. This would be enough experience for Nidoran to evolve, as it would glow in a poisonous aura and evolve into Nidorino. Ash would be happy and would congratulate it. But then he would turn to Casey and would coldly say that if she really wants to be a strong trainer, she needs to train and become better. This would offend Casey because she thought that she was a good trainer, and this would then make her decide that she was going to compete in the Johto League and put Ash in his place, thinking that he was a cocky, snobby brat. He would then catch Heracross. He would use Nidorino against Heracross, and he would swiftly catch it with a few poison jabs. After that, he would make his way swiftly to Olivine City, where he would battle against Falkner. Falkner would say that he's been waiting for a challenge for a while, and the Indigo League runner-up would be a suiting challenge for him. Ash would use Nidorino, as Falkner would use his Hoot Hoot. Hoot Hoot would be quite experienced with dealing on land Pokemon, as it would be able to get off a lot of damage, and Nidorino would defeat it with a poison jab. After that, Faulkner would send out his Dodrio. Dodrio and Nidorino would have a very even battle, with both offensive Pokemon defeating each other. Going head to head and poisoning each other with poison jab and doing a lot of damage with Drill Pack, and then it will come down to a clash between Drill Pack and poison jab. When the dust settled, both Pokemon would have defeated each other. After that, Ash would send out Fearow as Faulkner would send out his signature Pidgeot. And now this would be a battle of Kanto's regional bird Pokemon, finally putting us top two a debate about which is better. Even though, in my opinion, in Gen 1, Fearow is better. But that aside, this would be a very close aerial battle. Both Pokemon trading ring attacks and aerial aces. Both Pokemon would be tired. It will come down to who was faster, as will be a clash between an aerial ace and a wing attack. And when the dust settled, both Pokemon would be in the air, flying, waiting for one to faint. But then, Fearow would have hit Pidgeot a split second before, which will cause the Pidgeot, which will cause Pidgeot to fall, signifying the winner. Faulkner would then give Ash the badge, I would say. You deserve your position in the Indigo League. Now, let's see how good you can do in the Johto League. And that's the end of the story right now. I've decided that I don't want my parts to be as long as they usually are, because if I keep doing that, I'll just keep rushing the stories and all that stuff, and I don't like rushing things. I like basically making everything fall into place and make sense slowly by slowly. Even though I don't want to drag out my stories like 20 parts and all that, I will drag out the Hoenn series, that even though I don't want to drag out my series to like 30 parts, 40 parts. I don't want to be making this series for the rest of making a series for the rest of my life. I want to drag it out in a way that makes sense and feels fulfilling. So, yeah, goodbye.